What's up, guys? We're here we got Rake and Profit down here. The man doing over 100K profit a year, working just 2 hours a month at this point.
He's killing it.
eBay to Amazon. We got Victor Galejos, financially free from flipping used books on Amazon and other investments, founder of BookMine. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, and you guys don't know who I am, my name is Avery, aka Roma the Roamer. My claim to fame is I lived in my car flipping books on Amazon 6 years ago, and here we are, actually 7 years later, and this is our second year doing an in-person event, and these in-person events have changed my life. That's why I'm so passionate about them. I'm calling this a sister conference to Miami Sellers Conference, but this was spawned at Miami Sellers Conference. We were having drinks one night at my first night, and Victor and Joji come up to me and they're like, "Hey bro, let's get a conference going." I'm like, done. I just instantly knew it was going to happen, and now it's here we are, year 2. And tonight we're here to answer any questions you guys have about selling on Amazon, whether it's BookMine, eBay to Amazon, flipping books, whatever. And of course, questions about the conference tickets too. And just quick reminder for anyone watching the replay or showing up now, tickets are never going to be this cheap again. They're at a very good price right now, but they're going to be more expensive in the future.
Yeah.
So, how you guys
doing? The cheapest they're ever going to be. So actually buy them now if you're considering going. Yeah,
for sure. Only going to go up.
Yeah, last year, what did we have? About 100 plus people that came to
about 140
event?
altogether.
Yeah. This event is like, in my head, I wish this event would have been around back when I started. I mean, there was similar events, but they were just at a smaller scale. But even then, back then, at these smaller scale events, the cool thing about coming to them is, like, at the after party, you can literally talk to anybody you want to. Mm-hmm. And even the people you might not even have on your radar that you talk to, there's like literally like millionaires in the room just floating about. There's booksellers, doing interesting things, or software creators. And like, your chances of brushing shoulders with someone that you vibe with is extremely high. I mean, that's why me and Steve are like really good friends. I harassed him at one conference. He was there. And honestly, like, if you would have asked me after the conference if I made a good connection with Steve, I'd be like, I don't know. He didn't give me his phone number. Gave me his Instagram, but I didn't make it past the request page. And fast forward several months later, it wasn't until he finally accepted my request that we shot videos together in person. But that foundation of the connection with Steve was huge, and yeah. Anyway.
I agree. Going to the Miami Sellers Conference, getting to meet both of you guys, and then starting the conference together has really changed everything that we're doing. So
it's so dumb that like in-person connection leads to like so much more opportunity. Like, it shouldn't be that way.
Well, it's trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get to see you in person, I guess. It's just a different thing. It's like, oh, you're actually real. You're not just saying this stuff online,
Right. No. And I guess my point with Books and Beyond is like, I like having Bill Martlink in the room. He's the biggest eBay seller. Honestly, like, the whole speaker lineup, I can pop this up right now and get after it. But it's like, just the opportunity to, get a chance to meet these people in person is huge. And then just realizing they're just people, and
well said.
You can get the results they get if you just
and this is actually really fun, right? Last year was an unproven conference. We never had run it. And so this is the second year running, showing that actually we can run a successful conference. And it was actually a ton of fun. And this fact that we get to do this again is even more exciting.
We have Amanda in the comments right now. And, speaking of networking, Amanda and I, we actually met for the first time. She showed up to one of my free trainings online. But then guess what? We built a little connection, right? And we did a coaching call together. But guess what? She showed up to one of Caleb Roth's Turn the Page events. I don't know if you remember that, Avery. And
which one was it? Was it was it Atlanta?
I don't know. I think it was the last one that they did. Yeah, but anyways, we built a friendship, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't give her extra attention as a student, just because like we met in person, and then we really became friends. We actually became business partners. She spoke last year. She's going to be speaking this year about Walmart at Books and Beyond. And, she ended up being in the 5% club, someone who actually starts selling on Amazon and sells over 20,000 a month, because most people just quit. But guess what? She built friends with me, you, everybody in the community, got immersed in it. And those people get results, right? They show up, they meet in person. And so it's huge.
Yeah. Business isn't really that complicated. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. It's like, just as long as you do shit and just keep doing it, and ideally you do something focused, like you focus on something, you pick one thing, whether that's eBay to Amazon or YouTube channel or whatever, you just focus on it for a long period of time. And I think this stems from having the belief it's going to work. And that's why it's important. You know, like we can talk about doing stuff all the time, but if you don't really believe it's going to work, you're probably not going to do the thing that's required to get results that much. And something happens when you see people who are as stupid as you, or as stupid as me, I'll say. When I see people who are as stupid as me get results better than me, that's when I really make the leap. You know, when fucking Taylor Jones starts making triple the money I made in a month, that's all of a sudden my income literally was going to double the next month after that. Just, it's going to happen. When Steve Rakin with his bald head, when I find out that, you know, when I find out that he can't do something, I'm trying to think of something you can't do very good, Steve. What are you really bad at? There's something you're really bad at that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Oh, I was muted. I was like salsa.
Salsa. Yeah, when I see Steve can't get the 1, 2, 3 on the salsa beat in front of me, I'm just like, dude, it's game over. Like, this guy's doing $100K profit a year on eBay to Amazon. Like, it's a very real thing that when you brush shoulders with people that you think, and like maybe you guys are like Jen Fritz, you know, right here on the screen. And I don't know, I don't want to put an age on her, but let's just say she's 21 years old and you're also a 21-year-old woman. Then, you know, all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is possible. And this is what I love about running these conferences. I love bringing my mom there. Steve, your mom needs to come to one of these. I don't know what she's doing. She's kind of like you, doesn't like to leave too far out.
Yeah. But she's too busy at home making money, dude. She can't leave the thrift.
For real. And there's people that do that and it's fine. But like, I like having my mom come to Miami Sellers Conference and her just go in the corner with the 10 women her age that she's able to vibe with them. And one of them's doing like 100K profit, not profit, 100K sales a month or something, you know, on Amazon. And then all of a sudden my mom's like, I can do it too, you know? So,
and she attracts all those people and they all will talk with her and stuff. So that's fun.
Yeah. It's definitely my passion in life is kind of like having the connections of people and breaking through limiting beliefs via introducing them to people exactly like them. You know, like if this is a giant simulation that we're living in right now, I can guarantee you like the number one thing the player of the game could do to level up other players is just surround them with players similar to them a little bit, but they're doing better. And then it just instantly like shifts your mindset to be able to do it. So anyway, back to the speakers we got here. We got David Chung. He's one of my best friends. And I met him at an in-person conference in Phoenix years ago. That was when I was probably at I wasn't at peak cockiness yet, but I was pretty cocky. I was probably at 3,000 in sales per month flipping used books. And David asked me questions for like 30 minutes. And I didn't know that this guy was doing 7 figures on Amazon each year selling books until he went up to speak. And so I didn't even know who he was, but he was asking me questions. And I guess he saw the ambition. He saw the sparkle in my eye and knew that, you know, I wasn't going to stop. But now he's one of my best friends, and it was all because of an in-person event. And he'll be speaking. He does 7 figures annually. And he is the definition of an entrepreneur. He's always coming up with new ideas. Libra Loop is his most recent one, which I'm really excited to talk more about this on the channel too. But if you guys have ever thought about doing bulk books, wanting to process pallets of books, he actually has a business
website. He just launched it.
It's going to sell you pretty decent pallets of books from his source, so you guys could kind of taste bulk if you want to from your house. So I'll be getting some ordered to my new house. I'm closing on one here, and hopefully Monday I'll close on it, and then get a few pallets of books delivered from Libra Loop. But that's David, and then you were talking about Jen. Who invited Jen? Was that you, Victor?
Yeah, Jen. She's actually been a student of mine and a friend for quite a few years. She does eBay to Amazon. She does a lot of Lego flips, a lot of toys. She's really great. You know, one of the things we really wanted to focus on at our event, compared to other events, is we want to represent the ladies. You know, there's a lot of women out there who are killing it, but for some reason,
and shout out to Joji and you for making that happen, because I literally don't care about that at all. I care about results. And thank God that Jen has some results.
I mean, there are a lot of women who have results. So we just asked, we just asked around, right? Yeah. So, and Jen happens to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of women who are like on the fence about selling on Amazon, or maybe they think like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, just because you know how it is. Like if you want to start something, you want to see other people that you relate to. Everybody's different. And I think it's really great. We got quite a few women coming, and Jen, she's crushing it. She's, she's a really hard worker. She's learned how to use all the software. She's doing it big. She's found her own little niches within eBay to Amazon. And yeah, I mean, she's doing fantastic. So I'm really excited for her to speak, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited too. We got Reed. Somebody want to talk about Michelle Reed?
Yeah. So Michelle is actually a person who's been following our type of like seasonal arbitrage for books for quite a while. She's been maybe 3 years in. Last year, she finally broke over $100,000 worth in sales. And this year, I think she's actually going to double that, maybe 250 to 300,000, because she's been doing
Joji Davenport in the
whole
house
process all together. What's up, Joji?
In the house.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
we're
up?
Actually, we're just talking about Michelle, right? And how crazy she's like killing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Michelle is, I mean, oh my gosh, over the last, so this year she's doing, or last year she did, I think, over 100K. And this year she's doing over 100K as well. Mom of three, used to work in the banking industry, just absolutely killing it. I was really excited. Well, Victor and I were both really excited to bring Michelle on because I think she's going to resonate with a lot of people in the crowd, but all doing online book arbitrage, really heavy into high school books right now. And what would be really cool is that Books and Beyond's in October. So she will be there speaking about a month to a month and a half after high school textbook season, and she's going to just absolutely crush it. So if you have any questions about high school textbook season, definitely want to reach out to her. Obviously Victor as well, but
like every time I share a book, she's like, "Oh, I have 20 of those copies." So she's going to do really big this year. So it's fun that she's coming, and she accepted our invitation to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, who else we got? We got Riley up. Yeah, so Riley was actually in attendance last year at Books and Beyond, and he actually owns a Canadian bookstore, like a physical bookstore, but he also sells on Amazon and eBay as well. So I thought it was really, well, it's going to be very interesting to have Riley there because he sells books in a way that most people don't. Like he sells to those different mediums. So he sells on eBay, he sells on Amazon, he has his physical book front. So just a really cool guy. And yeah, he really wanted to be a speaker after last year. He had a blast. And so I'm really excited to connect with him again, and for other people to, reach out to him because, again, he has a lot of experience in many different forms of selling books. So really exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Seth Kordick. Seth saw one of my ads on Facebook years ago when I was selling a book selling course called the Book Business Blueprint. Now he's a full-time seller. He's done over 1.2 million this year, I think. This year alone, I just saw him just on Instagram, and he clears at least 25, 30K plus profit each month, primarily through eBay to Amazon. Super proud of him. He'll be talking, and excited to see him in person again.
Yeah,
and he's doing a lot of FBM as well now. He's transitioned, so I think that's gonna. I'm hoping that he talks about that because he's like getting off the FBA train and really going hard with FBM. So that should be
sometimes in the mornings he does like live events or like live YouTube videos, and he's actually like wrapping up his FBM stuff to send it out. So it's cool to follow his channel.
It offers like a unique perspective because at least Victor and I, even Steve and Avery, for the most part, all of us really push FBA hard. And so you have Seth who's like, I don't do any FBA, and he's crushing it. So he's doing over 1 million, and he does primarily eBay to Amazon, which is great. But it's even for me, it's an interesting perspective because I'm always like, Seth, why would you want to? That's like so much extra work that you have to do. But obviously he has his reasons as to why he thinks that's way more beneficial than FBA. And so it'd be interesting for anyone that's a bookseller or does eBay to Amazon, why he prefers FBM. But again, you can do FBM and sell 1 million a year. So he's probably shipping out tons of packages every day, but congrats to him. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's all about the cash flow. He says it's all the cash flow. When you sell FBA, it could take you 6 weeks to get a book checked in or a DVD or whatever. He could sell out all of his quantity by the time we even get our items active.
Oh, so, yeah. It takes a month and a half to actually get an item active by the time from the time I buy it to the time it's actually active on Amazon. It's about at least over a month.
Is the payout different as well? Do you get paid out every single day through that format, or is it still a 2-week rolling basis?
I think it's still a 2-week.
Yeah.
2 week. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. They want to make sure the customer's happy, keep your money as long as possible. Yeah, Aaron Worley in the house. Steve, you want to talk about him a little bit? He's
yeah, Aaron. I mean, we all know Aaron. He's come to pretty much all the events. He's come to. He went to our little mastermind that we had in Oklahoma. I mean, one of my good friends now, one of my students, probably one of my top students. He does 50 to 100K a month. He's all 100% eBay to Amazon, and he started about 3 years ago. And what's interesting is he started using a prep center just like me, Joji, Victor. I know Avery, you've been using it for a while as well, but he got a prep center, and then all of 2024, he literally bought a huge RV and just traveled the whole country. I know Avery would love that. Dude, he had like 5 canoes on top of his RV, Avery.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know if he had any canoes, but yeah, he's just living the dream, man. He's killing it. So, and he's big into VAs. He has about 5 VAs running his whole business. So he's like,
he went to the virtual assistant academy as well. So shout out to us, Steve, for making that.
Oh yeah, dude. He's crazy, man. I love it. He's, he learns something from us and he just goes with it and takes it to a whole nother level. And, I love to meet people who I teach them things and then they become way smarter than me. And it's like, that's the way it should be.
100%. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about too. It's like when you see like your students surpass you.
Yeah.
One of the most inspiring things.
Oh yeah, we have some people coming to Books and Beyond who surpassed me and Joji. Actually, by maybe they're going to clear, or they're actually going to revenue about $1 million this year, and that's kind of crazy. And we're both just really excited about that happening. So yeah.
Was he the same one? He uses BookMine, right?
Yeah.
He was the same one who was. I think I talked to him at the whiskey bar last year, right? He was there, right?
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and he's on track. He just cleared $20,000 in profit last month.
Yeah, and he's been doing it since, I want to say, probably this time last year, like a year, right?
Yeah,
yeah. But
just at a year.
That's like, he's one of those people who's like, when they get the information, they're just like, pedal to the metal, like just I'm all in. So he's one of those type of people, and he's an extreme person, and extreme people get extreme results. So, it's not like everyone's going to be able to sell 1 million in books or 1 million eDay in the first year. It's like, obviously you have to have incredible drive. You have to be sourcing every day. Like you have to really be learning a lot. But all we're trying to say is that there are people who are not even speakers there that are trying to do 1 million per year books. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That people not speaking, right. Who should be speaking.
Yeah.
Just wasn't, he just didn't want to. And
that's the thing about these events is you get a lot of people who should be speaking that don't want to speak, or they'd rather just
he doesn't want to be on camera, actually. So that's what we don't even say.
And there's people that just they're there, they just want to network. They realize, hey, there's going to be 10 other booksellers doing a few million a year, and I want to connect with them. That's what we had last year. We had a lot of entrepreneurs in the room that weren't even speaking, that were multimillionaires. So that's another cool thing about these events. And we got Bill Bartlink, the number one. He's part of the company that is the number one seller on eBay right now, top 10 on Amazon, been in the game for 20 plus years, has a selfie with Jeff Bezos from like 20 years ago.
Still counts.
Yeah, still counts. He's an OG. He's hilarious. I love having him in the room. And he's actually a sponsor as well. So sellbackerbook.com, World of Books. Go check it out.
Senior sales director of World of Books, and they are a sponsor this year, which is incredible. And just to follow up on what Avery said, one of the smartest persons I've ever met. So if you're like wondering how to scale your business in any regard, I would go to that guy for advice, because he started one company, sold, merged with another, sold a third company. Like his story is crazy, and then somehow ends up as the senior sales director of World of Books. So like you said, has been in since, almost as long as I've been alive in the whole book game, which is kind of crazy. And just
for real.
I would, and way down to earth that you could have a chat with, and it doesn't matter how little or how big you are. Like he's going to try to help you, at least give you new ideas on how you can improve your business. So a lot of fun there.
Yeah, and we've all seen like Glenn the Bookseller. So that's actually him. That's not his name, but that's his company he represents.
So I'm not sure how much you guys talked about it, but this year, one thing that we did also want to do was provide a little bit more of the eBay to Amazon. Last year, we were very, very dominant books, and we're still heavy books this year. Obviously, it's called Books and Beyond. So, basically all of us at some point have or are currently selling books, the four of us. But last year we had a little bit of a flavor of eBay to Amazon. We wanted to bring a little bit more of that this time, because there are a lot of people who do crush it with eBay to Amazon. And that's why we are bringing guys like Seth and Aaron, and hopefully Josiah. Hopefully he can come. I'm not sure, but Steve is always posting in your group like how you actually really are making quite a bit of money, and the margins from eBay to Amazon flipping are pretty crazy.
It's crazy
when you compare it to other types of traditional online arbitrage. And honestly, it's even surprised me, Steve, how for so long your account has really been clean. So I'm just excited to have a little bit bigger of a representation of eBay to Amazon as well. So if you're somebody out there who follows more of Steve's crowd and you do a lot more eBay to Amazon, there's actually going to be a lot more eBay to Amazon people there as well, and both in the crowd, but also in speakers and also in the panel. So there's going to be a lot of value there as well. So I'm just excited for that. So
it's kind of crazy that, where everyone's trying to hide their sources, everybody on eBay to Amazon knows what your source is, right? It's eBay, right? And I think there's a lot of untapped potential doing eBay to Amazon, and that's why we want the Beyond part to be mostly focused on eBay. So I think we got some really great speakers. We're trying to find some more. And I think, if you go there, you're actually going to figure out how to buy items on eBay and sell them on Amazon, and figure out like the best way to do it so that your account stays safe and you actually make some high ROI. Because like if you talk to Steve, compared to a regular online arbitrage seller, the margins are crazy compared. Like we're talking about, maybe 6 to 10% is a normal online arbitrage seller. Like on eBay to Amazon, we're what, 30, 40%? It's just the margins are through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's and with books, and we do a lot of book eBay to Amazon flips as well. Not me in particular, but a lot of my students and stuff. Yeah. But with what you guys do with BookMine and like, we got Avery, the go-to lister man here. I mean, most of the people who use go-to-lister, a lot of them are book sellers. And I mean, there's no ROI like books. Books are incredible, especially Amazon flips, going to thrift stores and stuff. And I mean, there's just so many opportunities out there, whether it's going to thrift stores, Amazon with BookMine, but at the end of the day, you got to get those books and those products listed and shipped. And, hopefully, we can have a go-to-lister booth over there this year.
Oh yeah. Every year the booth levels up, bro. I'm gonna help you guys level up too. But every year the sponsors get better. Like, and the cool thing is we got Miami Sellers Conference and then Books and Beyond to learn each year what provides more values to the attendees and what provides more value to the sponsors, which really provides more value to both if you increase those things. So we plan on putting the sponsorship booths in the back this year so people can have coffee, go talk to BookMine, go talk to Replaying Catcher. Hopefully we'll sell back your book's going to be there. One of the prep centers. We have a prep center.
Yeah. Frank says he's definitely doing it. He just hasn't figured out what level.
Frank, it's on YouTube now. You got to do it. That's a go-to lister sponsor. That's a go-to lister partnered prep center. So he's the first prep center to use go-to lister. If you guys want to keep using go-to lister and a prep center at the same time. Hopefully we'll have a few more sponsors. We're working on a CPA sponsor for you guys. Everyone always asks tax questions. So I'm testing out Dula, who helped unofficially sponsor Miami, but hopefully they'll be there at Books and Beyond too. Any other sponsors I'm missing?
Shanna from Central Prep. So she's not going to make it this year, but she said still that she wanted to support the event because she had a lot of fun last time, found a lot of value in it. And I've been working with Shanna at Central Virginia Prep for a long time, and I have nothing but positive words to say about them. And I wish that they could be there. She unfortunately won't be able to be there, but it just shows you how much she does value what we're doing. She's like, I'll still pitch in for sponsorship, even though I can't even make it, just because she sees the value here. So also Central Virginia Prep, So
and we're talking to repricers, right? So we're talking to Be Cool and Ara to see which one actually wants to sponsor us. But one of them will, and we'll add them to the list.
What do most of your students use? Out of curiosity,
doesn't have most of them actually we're starting to convert to Ara just because we feel like they're getting a lot more value in
Ara. For a few years, did you just promote like the Amazon repricer or
the Amazon repricer and Be Cool? Yeah, we would do both.
You know, I tried to message the other day. I'm such a prostitute when it comes to repricers, and I apologize to the whole repricing community. But I've literally, and I've tried all of them. Most of the ones I make videos about, I've either tried or they've helped me out in some way. Be Cool has been so supportive of Miami in the past, and that's why I've worked with them. But I truly have tried Channel Max. I've done Reprice It. I've done there's one Neuroprice, and I think they're all good in different ways, which is why I like making videos about them. I think they add different things, but Reprice It I reached out to the other day to see. I don't even know like if they have like an owner that communicates with people. Like I've never heard of them ever doing. I've heard of Scoutly. I've heard of them communicating with people. I've heard of all these other software companies, but I've never heard of Reprice It's owner like being involved with anything. Have you guys?
Same with Keepa.
Yeah, that's true too. But Keepa's I feel like Reprice is pretty small. Like they got to have less than 1,000 users.
There was a conference that was in Orlando like last weekend, an Amazon conference, and Keepa actually sponsored it. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did we reach out to them?
So maybe we should reach out to Keepa.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Joji's fanboying out.
Well, yeah, because it's like it's instrumental to any business on Amazon. Almost like the cool kid on the block that doesn't need anyone. So the fact that they sponsored another event was kind of mind blowing. I was like, well, I'm surprised they even gave this conference the time of day, even though it is a very successful conference. It's been on for a while, but let's reach out to Keepa. I'd be excited.
You know what's
surprised.
You know what's more mind-blowing to me? That Joji knows more about Keepa than the actual developers of Keepa.
I think so.
Like, he could teach them how to read the charts better than they know how to do it.
Yeah. Mike the used book guy and go-to lister though.
Yeah.
And probably bookmine users. There's probably some bookmine users that know some stuff that you guys don't even know.
Oh yeah. See, there's Michelle. I can't do this business without Keepa. It's true. Without Keepa, it's like, okay. If Keepa goes down for the day, just go, go hang out. Like there's no reason to actually source books.
Yeah. Keepa's super instrumental. Going back to your original question about, so me on my channel, I use Be Cool. So I actually, that was the first repricer I ever started with. Used Be Cool, enjoyed them. But then I went to the Miami Sellers Conference. We were our booth, Bookmine, was right next to Goora. And I got to talk with Dylan and Finn. I am somebody who's always willing to try something new. And so I'm really liking it already. I've already made a couple of videos on how to use Aura if you want to set it up. And overall, in my opinion, just way more intuitive already. So that's what I'm using right now. I'm really enjoying it. And but like I said, we'll see. The goal is to have some repricer there at the event. So we'll see who that's going to be. I'm not sure.
And it's so important too, like I'm sure you guys do a bunch of coaching calls all the time. And I noticed that one of the biggest mistakes a lot of new Amazon sellers make, it's not that they don't go out and source. Everyone loves sourcing, everyone loves listing, right? And getting it shipped out with GoToLister, right? But repricing, I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you've never repriced before, or you don't do it often, if you get a good repricer or you just manually reprice once a week and just consistently do it, your sales are going to skyrocket. It's so important on Amazon. So important. So yeah, get somebody there, Joji.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really trying to work hard on Aura. I mean, the reason being is that you can have a starter plan. If you're under 10,000 in revenue per month, which a lot of people are, especially people who are starting out, you're under 10,000 in revenue, you can basically pay $27 per month. But the cool thing about it is you can actually have a conditional repricing by inventory age, which is really important. Like that's something you can't even do with the free Amazon repricer. If you want to do it with
that's really good.
If you want to do it with Be Cool, you have to be at a higher plan. So the cool thing is that for only $27, again, if you're under 10,000 per month, which most people are, is that you have the ability to have a bunch of different repricing rules on inventory age or what other factors that are interesting to you. So I find that really valuable. And so
Dylan's great too. Literally confidence that
and really supportive.
Right? Anybody who wants help repricing could talk with the owner of the software, which is pretty crazy actually.
Yeah.
He's willing to hop on a call with anybody. So
I actually hopped on a call with Finn after the conference and he helped me with some questions I had, helped me get set up. He literally met with me for like 30 minutes. And then they also have office hours once a week. So all those for me, like one thing that I have to think about as well is like for
he froze.
Yeah.
I think
I think he's on his phone, right? So that's what he's trying to do his Wi-Fi and stuff. So yeah.
I think you're saying basically softwares that engage with the community are goated.
Oh yeah. The fact that you can actually contact the owners of Aura is amazing.
Yeah, and the fact that they integrated them. They got Walmart like that.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about it, and he's like, it's not a perfect solution, but it's like 90% there. But that's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
Sweet. And they're US based. They're all out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walmart's, Steve, I know you kind of said you're looking at getting into Walmart. Did you do any more of that? Are you actually?
Yeah, I've been dabbling a little bit. Yep. I got another shipment out. So not a ton to report back with, but I've been using, what is it? Is it Inventory Falcon?
Mm-hmm.
Inventory Falcon. It's like one of the first listing softwares that are out there for Walmart. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not the best. It's glitchy. I'll be honest. You know, even like Nepeto and Martyr and all their softwares they have, they're all kind of like a little sketch. But Walmart's tough to build in right now, so it's like the best options that are out there.
Do you know about the WFS and what I meant to say was, do you know about Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment?
Yeah, that's been around forever.
So what you can do, Walmart just released that it's within their terms of service for if you order something on Walmart is now okay with an Amazon package coming in with Amazon on it. Yeah. It used to be terms of service. It was like equivalent of drop shipping on Amazon back in the day. And even today, they don't like it. But Walmart's like, screw it. Amazon's here. Why not take some of their sales by allowing Amazon sellers to now list? Theoretically, you could have one of your VAs go in and just list all your stuff on Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you sell an item, just use multi-channel fulfillment and ship it out. That would be a good software idea. If anyone's listening, imagine a software that you could just click a button and it seeks all your Amazon inventory via the multi-channel fulfillment and reconciles for you automatically. You know,
to Walmart. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
And reprices for you and all that.
Yeah.
The Walmart's kind of like the Wild West right now. So like you have a couple different options, but you can basically just create a new listing. Let's just say you want to list all your eBay to Amazon stuff. One approach would just be create new listings for everything and then run ads to it on the keywords. Or you could look for existing listings, which often are like made pretty shitty, and hop on those. But that's kind of what's going on right now.
Hey, well, you're the listing guy, so you're the one with the listing.
I want to do everything at once, but I got to stick with the EOS and focus on one thing at a time.
Get some traction over there, baby.
Yeah, no, I know how that is. Yeah, everyone has a ton of ideas, but it's like I only have so much time.
I think that would blow up right now. I think I could go in my DMs and just DM everyone that I know is like an Amazon seller and just be like, hey, look, bro, do you want to get all your inventory listed on Walmart right now? Instantly a button clicked. Like, I think that could sell it for like $50 a month or whatever. Give me equity. Whoever does this in the comments section, give me equity to this idea.
And it's brand new, right? The potential just happened because Walmart just came out saying that they're okay with that.
Yeah, and I've heard through the grapevine that, I don't know why I said through the grapevine, like it's a big secret, but I've heard that books are selling at Walmart. I don't know if you've heard that at all.
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, they and I've asked, some of the bigger sellers, booksellers, and it like how many sales are they doing on Walmart? They're like maybe 5%. So it's not there yet, but yeah, definitely it's a growing market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, Book Mine 2.0, show the Walmart prices.
Yeah.
One cool thing about Walmart with the ads, so you have the regular PPC, just like Amazon, you can set up automatic campaigns. With Walmart, you can set up within Walmart, like I was just talking about, like essentially like within searching on Walmart PPC, but you can also set up Google PPC in Walmart. So if someone searches electronic XYZ on Google, if you're running Google ads to it, and so now you can use the biggest search engine in the world as part of your PPC, which Amazon, I think Google kind of restricts Amazon sometimes. So That's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
What's up, Joji? Joji's back.
I'm back. Sorry. Again, power outage in my area. Very bad timing, so I'm on my phone using my data. But anyways, we had some questions in the chat that we should address. So we do have, let's see, Amanda Ballard, who will be there. She's going to be talking, I think, about Walmart again. But she asked if Amanda DiMartino, Resell Maven, is going to be there for Whatnot, or from Whatnot, and she is going to be there as well. She is going to be a speaker as well. Let's see. I think that was the only thing there.
Is Mike going? Basically,
yeah, the used book guy. Someone wanted to know.
Hey,
we're trying to get him to come.
We're trying to. Mike's one of those people you got to kind of work on a little bit, and we're going to do an in-person Philly event probably after I close in this house, probably late July, early August. I'm going to buzz up there. Steve, you could come down, and I think after that we might have him sold on it. But
yeah, I would love to have Mike, the used book guy, there. He brings a ton of value to the community, maybe even more than he knows. And I think it'd be huge if he was there, just for everyone in attendance. I think he's got a lot to add to the community, a lot of value, and
do we have? Do we consider Max this year? Is Max coming? I thought we said he was.
Max.
Ruback.
Yeah, Ruback.
Oh,
we've invited him.
Max. Yeah, we invited. Yeah. I did reach out to Max. I'm not sure if he's got stuff going on, but he didn't respond. But I agree that I was really trying to push hard to get Max as well. Max does bring a lot of value, but I don't know. Maybe something's going on.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of rare books and his paper gold.
He's got some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Just like
his house is full of books all over his house.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Feedback. I don't know if it's coming from Joji.
I think
it might be.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But he found books outside of a golf course one time. And somebody called him, hey, there's a bunch of books outside this golf course. I think they might be valuable. Flips them for $40,000.
Whoa.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're all good at different things. I'm definitely not like, I don't get off on like a rare. I'm so terrible. Was it with you? No, it was with Mike the used book guy. I was talking about how I was so bad at traditional OA because I'm just my brain is bad at recognizing things. Like I will leave someone's house and I'll walk out in their shoes if we have the similar color shoes on. So if we have black shoes, I'll walk out in their black shoes just because like my brain doesn't understand. Like I don't give a shit. It's like whatever. Like shoes are shoes. Same with cars. I almost get in black Jeeps all the time, and I drive a RAV4. So like this weird little thing I have. And so but I feel like people who are like on the opposite direction where they notice every little detail with things, it's like Max, where he's like, oh, this rare book is blah, blah, blah. And he's like able to notice every detail. Whereas like my brain's more like, let me just like take as much action as possible and like it'll make up for it. And it's definitely cool to have minds like him in the community where a lot of people for years have been just going on Facebook or Instagram. Common Ground Finds is his name. You can send him a picture of a bookshelf and he'll tell you, hey, these 3 books might be good. And he's helped people flip, books for thousands of dollars profit. His whole house is just covered in books. You go in his house and it's a bunch of rare books behind the couch. He's got his whole garage is filled. He's like a very organized hoarder, like in a healthy way, just making him profit. So,
and Avery, haven't you taken pictures and actually sent it to him, and he told you whether or not these are actually valuable books?
He'll do that. You can FaceTime him. You can FaceTime him. You can send him pictures. But a lot of the bulk book selling community has FaceTime, or they send him Gaylords of books. Like David Chung sends him Gaylords of books.
Yeah, we're really trying hard behind the scenes. I think one thing that you don't appreciate until you actually run a conference is how much work it is to run a conference and how much organizing there is, how much reaching out to people in the community there is. And again, not everyone can come. Everyone's got their own personal situation going on, but we really are trying to bring the best of the best together. And so if you're asking why isn't somebody there, it's probably not that we didn't ask. It's probably that we're trying in something, something just to align.
We want everyone there. If you guys have some people that you want in the room, let us know, and we'll get them there.
Yep.
And I think this year, the difference between this year and last year is this year we're going to focus more on like workshops. So we're going to have workshops there. We're actually going to try to teach you guys something, on different subjects. We're going to have like panel discussions and Q&A, and more than just like speaker after speaker. We're actually going to integrate it more. And so you'll come back with actually learning a lot more than you did before, than you knew. Yeah.
We also have, do we have one more after party, or is it the same as last year? Is it still 3?
No, we have 3, but the third one now is actually going to be, everyone's going to be welcomed, instead of the last time where it was like you needed to be a member of our 3 softwares to do it. Yeah.
Cool.
On Saturday night, we're going to do it on the pool deck on the top floor of the Four Queens.
Do you want to briefly go over the schedule real quick? I don't want to butcher it, but I know it's pretty similar to what we did last year.
Yeah, it's very similar. We're not going to really change up the schedule much. We're going to have a Friday night after, or meet and greet basically, and then Saturday we're going to hit it 8 to 5. Basically, we're going to have speakers, we're going to have panels, we're going to have Q&A, and then of course on Saturday night we're going to do the pool deck, and that'll be our first after party. And then Sunday, same thing, 8 to 5. And then Sunday night, we're going to have an after party. And we haven't actually nailed down exactly where we're going to do it at, but it's within like a minute, because we have 2 or 3 places that we're looking at right now. So,
yeah. What would you say the biggest thing you got out of the event last year, Victor, or just events in general?
The biggest thing I got out of the event for me is just more networking, right? So I realized that was probably lacking when the first time I came to the Miami Sellers Conference, and realizing the more and more I'm able to work with people around me, the better my business is, right? The better that I just thrive, because the people around me help me out, right? And realizing that has just, I'm kind of addicted to going to conferences now. So I'm definitely going to Miami Sellers Conference next year, and definitely we're going to have this conference again. I'm all about making this conference as big as possible, right? Our room can hold 400 people, and soon enough we'll get to 400 people.
Yeah.
So
100%.
And we'll all grow our conference space, and we'll move it somewhere else. But yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, for anybody who's serious about leveling up,
yeah,
I'm telling you, you will learn so much, not just from listening to the speakers, right? But in my opinion, and I'll just be honest, with any event I've ever gone to, I always get 10 times more from the conversations in the hallway, the people I'm talking to at the after party, the little private conversation that I'm having with, someone who's doing Amazon flips, or eBay to Amazon, or whatever. Like, you just learn things and you see things from a different perspective. And I always come home, not with a million ideas, but usually like 2 or 3 like aha moments that are just like, wow, like this is going to change the trajectory of my business. Right. And obviously it's up to all of us, and you guys and gals as well, to take action on those aha moments and those little moments of inspiration.
The thing is, it helps you take action, though. It actually provides infrastructure in your life afterwards to help you take action. And that infrastructure is friends. It's friends in the space. Yeah. It's seeing that Steve's like a real human being. And, if he can do it, he's not just some millionaire who's always came from money, like, just buying items from eBay to Amazon. Like, no, like you see, like he's a living, breathing human that gets nervous talking in front of people and like all this shit. And you're like, holy shit, like this guy's like, he's not like this freak of nature that I thought.
Bro, I am. I'm a 5th generation, dude. My grandfather's great-grandfather was flipping items from eBay to Amazon, dude.
I thought you were a freak of nature till I met you in person. I'm like, this is just like a normal kind of person,
Yeah.
So going back to just little things that you pick up at the conference, at the Miami Sellers Conference, somebody asked Steve, so I know you sell a lot of new DVDs, eBay to Amazon. I just don't get how you do that, because like, how do you deal with the invoice? And then Steve gave him like a 1-line zinger from like some really valuable piece of information of like how to get like an invoice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. There's certain things I'm not going to share online. I'm just sorry.
I've never heard you talk.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, whoa, that could have literally just paid for your ticket right there if you had heard that.
Yeah.
People.
But it's funny how it just came off your tongue with like, dude, just do this. And it was like, I was like, wow, that's really valuable.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, people are
last year. I don't know if I think I must be.
You're cutting off a little.
Yeah,
bit.
you're kind of cutting off a little bit.
But we can still understand the message.
But like, you know, when we went to the Miami Sales Conference, the biggest takeaway from there was the suspensions that, you know, like that's happening on Amazon. We have now a few channels or a few opportunities to help us get our accounts back now. And a lot of things we haven't shared online that we share only at those conferences. I think that's also really valuable.
We're going to try and get like what we're talking about. We're going to try to have them present at the conference. I reached out to 2 people today, the tax company and someone else, but I'm going to text.
I think that's really smart. And if we're able to do that and bring those people to the conference, there's so much value there.
Yeah, I'm going to text them right now. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about, like, you know, when people ask Steve, like, how are you running this business without invoices? Like, at what I've realized at scale in the Amazon game, whether we're talking online arbitrage, private label, I can't speak as much about private label. I'm a baby there, but I know a lot about wholesale, and I know a decent amount about selling books from over the years. And almost everyone at scale has like been through the ringer with Amazon in some way. And all these rules that we teach you, the whole community, the gurus teach you, we're trying to keep you safe. We're like the Dave Ramsey telling you not to use a credit card.
Yeah.
But at scale, everyone's kind of got their own thing, and they eventually start breaking the rules. So Steve's running a business making 6 figures profit, you know, so people are like, oh, you don't have invoices, blah, blah, blah. But Amazon's changing. They're adapting. They're trying to protect themselves from counterfeits being sold on the market. And I guess my point of this rant is, like, in the room, you'll meet people and you'll ask them how they do things. And you're like, oh, that's not what I was taught. I was taught not to sell books as new. And then there's like this one guy making a killing from selling books only as new. And you're like, wait, Victor doesn't say to do that. And it's like, well, you know, you got to know the rules to break them. And then if you talk to him more in depth, he's been through the ringer. He's settled with some brands. He's been through it, you know? And so this game we're playing is like, we're reselling name brand products on Amazon. We're reselling on like the biggest marketplace. There's so much attention to be had. There's so much money to be had. And understanding what everyone's going through in the community and what they've done to overcome it, and knowing them like in person, because not all this information is shared, you know, publicly online. It's invaluable. So
well said.
Love it. Love it.
Cody's back.
This is brutal, man. This is the worst time
ever. Like a robot.
Don't you have a MiFi, Doji?
I do, but the one that you used, so I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, good point.
We got Carter Maxwell in the house.
Am I in the diamond package? Let's go.
Okay, Carter. I'm telling you, Carter. Okay, so think of this is crazy, Avery. So Carter was at Miami Sellers Conference, right? We were telling him about the margins of books, and he was like jaw dropping. And so Carter is one of those guys that take action. So he's now a BookMind member, and I think he said because I just met with him, he's already spent like $15,000 on OA books. Nice. And so he's gonna be a top player in the book game. And I'm not making any promises to him, but I'm just telling him you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, my friend. So I think it's gonna be really cool to see what he does in the textbook season, because if you do, Carter, come to Books and Beyond, man.
He needs to. If he's doing that, he needs to come to Books and Beyond.
He needs to come. I'm sure he's coming. I think he's just deciding what ticket to buy.
Yeah. But I'm excited, Carter, for you. I think you're gonna crush it. So well done, man.
17K since May. Yeah.
Yeah. 17K.
Yeah, there you go.
That's in purchases. So talk about somebody who's gonna start scaling. So, and by the way, Carter is one of those people who's very good with VAs. So he already has a program VA Fastlane, but he's somebody who has a number of VAs. So that's somebody you could talk to in the room. That's like, hey, I want to learn how to bring on virtual assistant. Basically, all of us have virtual assistants here, except for Victor. I don't think you have a virtual. Well, we together, Victor, we work with the virtual assistant.
We have a video editor.
Yeah, but the idea is that Carter, you know, if Carter comes, he's another person, and he'll just be there in the attendance. And like I said, just glad to have met Carter, and I think he's. I mean, you're just gonna crush it, dude. So well done for you.
And we met him at the Miami Sellers Conference, right? We were just having dinner and we just started talking to him and we're like, oh yeah, our margins are way bigger than that. Actually, oh well, don't you have a lot of customer returns? Yeah, almost none, maybe like 1%, literally 1%.
Yeah.
And so that got him really excited. What we did.
Bonnie in the chat asked, any brick and mortar sellers? Yeah, we're gonna have Riley Martins. So he owns a bookstore called Forest Books and Media in Canada. He sells out of his brick and mortar store, so out of his bookstore, and he also sells on eBay and Amazon. So he'll be there. We're going to have plenty of online book arbitrage sellers. So we'll have Michelle there, again, a mom of 3, worked in the banking industry, and she's doing over 100,000 with online book arbitrage as well. So yeah, there's going to be people there.
We have people all walks of life, right? Right. Joji, we even have a guy who's a firefighter. James. Yeah. James is a great guy. Like you would love to talk to him. If you come to this conference, you'll get to also meet James because James will go around and talk to everybody. So he's a Army firefighter who does online arbitrage because basically a lot of the time he has like downtime, right? As a firefighter, he's not always putting out fires, and the rest of the time he's out there sourcing. So yeah, great guy to meet. And like I said, like I wish he could also be a speaker, but he's like, well, I'm just doing this on the side. So let me just continue to do that. But you'll get to meet him there, and he's doing also really big numbers.
In the chat. Let's start with you, Avery.
You said what?
Carter had a really good question in the chat. What was your biggest takeaway from Books and Beyond last year?
Good question.
You can also think about it as well. You don't have to be put on the spot, but I'm going to answer.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of this from like running the event, so I feel like my takeaway would be a little bit different. I can also think of events from like 2 perspectives, from like an attendee, and I guess really my only perspective is running the event, my true perspective. The other one's imaginary. I just like having everyone there and seeing everyone brush shoulders, seeing people get motivated by someone that I thought these 2 people would get along really well. I love seeing that. I love seeing like 2 people. I'm like, oh, I wish they would, brush like Carter and you guys.
Yeah,
really
just made that happen.
Happened at
exactly
Miami. So like, I love seeing that. That's probably my biggest thing at all these events is just like seeing people get value from meeting each other and seeing who jives. I would not have expected that. You and Carter, like for sure. I feel like it was a pretty relaxed event thanks to Joji really taking charge. I was super nervous leading up to it, but then Joji, I saw he had it all in his head. And you,
we have it. We have it down. We meet almost like twice a week about it. So we're going to continue to do that.
And the thing is, this year I can promise, once we get to the event and everything is going to feel way better because we've already done it once.
Oh yeah,
like. As long as the venue's the same, that's like one of the biggest issues. We don't know how things are going to go, but since everything's the same, it's going to be way smoother. Everyone told us this year Miami felt so much more organized, and we didn't even have an event manager. And the reason why is everything was the same, so we knew what was going to happen, and we could optimize things that we weren't able to pay attention to last year.
Yeah. So, Steve, you want to go next?
Yeah, for me, I would say the biggest thing that I took away from it was just confidence. Sometimes like when I make YouTube videos and post on social media, I'm dealing with so much negativity from like people, no offense, that are just like living in their parents' basement. Like they don't know anything about Amazon. They're not getting results. They think everything's a scam. Amazon's not an easy place to sell on. Let's be honest. They're changing rules, API updates, regating, this and that. And like the general public, they just are so negative, and sometimes you start to believe the BS that they're saying. But when you go to an event like this and you see other people crushing it, people keeping their accounts safe, people figuring out how to source great deals and making money. And it's like, holy crap, like you're not in this alone. Like there's hundreds of thousands of people out there having tons of success. And that's just one of my flaws. Like sometimes like I'm so empathetic to what everybody says that I start to believe the crowd. And it's like, whoa. Like I'm over here killing it. And there's a lot of other people killing it as well. So like, it just taught me to be more confident in what we're having success with. So I don't know if that sounds crazy, Victor, but well said. I left with more confidence.
Yeah. For me, it was it's no longer about me, right? So when we made this conference, I realized, okay, it's about building this community. And what does the community need more of? We need to support that. And we can do that because we have this conference, right? So the larger companies are at least willing to listen to us now because we actually have a conference. So for instance, Book Run is like, hey, I know we have this counterfeit checker. Whatever you need to make that better for you guys, we want to do that for you. And, we reached out to World of Books, of course, with Bill Martinlink. And now just recently, Thrift Books has just reached out to us. So, and when they reach out to us, they don't reach out to me and Joji and ask, hey, let's make a secret deal. It's, hey, how can we help out the book community? And so that's what my biggest takeaway is. It's that it's no longer about just me and Joji. It's about the whole community. Let's make this community bigger and better.
Rustam watching this live. He says I look drunk right now.
Well, because you've been drinking, so
I'm drunk. I'm not a lightweight. Rustam.
I know you're not there.
I make Rustam drink with me when I go to the Philippines, and he's a lightweight. But Rustam, I ain't no lightweight.
You know what's interesting? There was a comment that came in from Monster saying Amazon's been killing it for a long time. Competition is saturated. I'd say only if you already own your own products, it's a better deal. And this is not true. Yeah. Like, it's funny. The general public thinks like the only way to make money is like you have to private label. Private labeling is so expensive, so much money, so many skills. God, for every 100 people who do private label, no offense, I bet you it's like a freaking 1% success rate.
Yeah.
People think books, no money in books. The general public thinks that what Joji and Victor do is the stupidest thing in the world. Yeah, I laugh when people think that books are trash. And Avery's been preaching this for years.
Yeah.
Old dirty books, DVDs, like you can't sell those. You can't
does
sell
anyone have a DVD player, or does anyone actually have physical books? We get this all the time.
I love it. I love it. I love when someone on YouTube says, Steve Rakin, you're a clown. You're a joke. You're a loser. And it's like, I am. I'm a loser because I'm so stupid. I'm selling products that Go-To Lister has no. Hey, Avery, you ever seen the items that I'm selling? Are they $8 items, $11 items?
$100
you ever see the items Joji and Victor are selling?
Yeah.
The general public is delusional. But that's what I love about these events, because you know what I like to do? I like to whip out my phone right in front of someone's face and say, is this a fake guru?
Yeah. Argue with that, right? Yep.
Argue with my phone. Is this AI? Is ChatGPT behind his phone right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to look at the facts. Like, I think back to when I started this thing, I thought everyone was scammers, Steve included. I thought Reezy. Caleb came off the least scammy, but turned out to be the most scammy. No, just kidding. No, my mom's laughing at that. But no, like Caleb actually gave me the confidence. I'm like, if this guy's doing it, maybe it's real, blah, blah, blah. I drive across the country. I go to thrift stores, all that. Dad almost fell. He distracted me. I was about to say something else about all this. What was it? What were we just talking about right before this?
The delusional general public.
Yeah.
And like, dude, if you would have told me, I honestly didn't think back then books was going to be like the path to me. I've made over this year, like probably as much as a surgeon between software and selling on Amazon. Most of it's Amazon money. And for me, Steve, back to your point of like thinking, oh, should we be leading people down this path? It might get them shut down because Amazon is a monopoly right now. That's a fact. And they just pull the rug sometimes on people, sometimes for no reason at all. And we can't do anything about that. All we can do is warn them that, hey, this might happen, but is the risk worth the reward? And I think it is. Like, I think of my situation. I think of all the people I know in the community who have made a bunch of money from it. And I'm like, it's probably, in worst case, if, okay, we introduce someone to it, in which we've all done, and somebody's gotten suspended.
Yeah.
Then from, my mom, she right here, she's been suspended. It's like, they're going to learn a life lesson,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to come out stronger from that perspective too. So it's a little bit of tough love is the way I look at it. But I think the thing we can do is tell people, hey, this is risky. This is how much money I've made. Most people are making X amount of money if they put X effort in. And then there are some people that get burned. And then back to the network thing, it's like most of the time you can get past getting burned if you have the right network. And we're getting better at it as gurus, as teachers in this space. But the world isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's a wild west out there. Like every brand on Amazon's trying to protect themselves. They're trying to IP as many people as they can. They're trying to get as much profit. You know what I mean? And so like, this isn't like you can't tell someone to go in business and just expect it to be all nice and rainbows all the time. And I don't know. I haven't been in many other industries, so I can't talk much about them, but I'm sure every industry has its, downsides. I think Amazon is pretty bad, but it's kind of like if you're running a Facebook ads business, there's a chance Facebook can just rip your ads account, or TikTok can get banned from the government, or
there's risk in business.
You know what I mean? There's risk
in every business. Yeah.
And I think in the 21st century, I think we have such opportunity with these big platforms like Amazon, TikTok, Facebook, and we have so much attention, so much opportunity. But what comes with that is these are monopolies that are under fire from people trying to sue them for XYZ. And part of Amazon being sued is them trying to clear their system of counterfeit, bad actor sellers, and sometimes they get it wrong, and then we get the shit end of the deal. So
well, so what I'll say is that I was just say people who come to this event are real life people who are actually getting real results, like they're successful. So I would say if you're somebody who is skeptical, it would blow your mind to come to a conference like this, because everyone is just going to be like, oh yeah, I'm selling this, I'm making money. And if you really don't think that's true, like buy just a general admission ticket, go there, and if you truly feel like everyone there is lying to you and scamming and not we'll just go ahead and refund the whole ticket. That's how confident I am, because everyone that's there is like actually making money. So again, if you don't think that is possible, buy a general admission ticket, show up. If you feel like you didn't get value even within like the first 3 hours of being there, we'll just refund your ticket, because that's how I mean, there's nothing to hide here. I mean, it's like this is the place to be if you're somebody who wants to level up but also see the opportunities with selling. So
did you see in the comments that Carter and Frank just talked to each other for the first time? So we just made a connection just in this YouTube live, so that was cool.
Nice. Yeah. But I almost think now that like the risk of selling on Amazon, now that it's kind of apparent, with the account shutdowns and stuff, makes the whole opportunity of it seem more believable than in the past. Because it's like, oh, there's this huge risk. Of course, there's reward. Whereas before it was just like, it's kind of crazy. You just ship stuff to Amazon and get paid. And it still is like that. But we there's a few horror stories going around, and people are like, oh, like some people are too scared, whatever. But I think it almost makes it more believable.
That's right. It's true.
Well, let's go. I'm pumped up.
I think we've sold over like 50, almost close to 60 tickets already. And I mean, we're hoping to get our numbers higher than we did last year. So we're going to try to get to about 200 people if we can. And that's probably our ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think we could totally do it.
Yeah.
Just doing 5,000 per month with one item from eBay to Amazon. And then Amazon told me I need a more constant supply in order to keep selling it. Yeah. So Amazon's like, hey, you have good inventory. Give us more of it. Sounds like they cut them off. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Opportunity is greater than ever. My grandpa at my age. Yeah. We have so much more opportunity than our grandparents did.
Yeah.
And even our parents. Like I was talking to my dad. I'm just like, you didn't even have this opportunity. Now I think if I lived 100 years ago, I could maybe make something work, but you'd have to have a different skill set. I think it's much easier now just to definitely way easier, way more possible just to be in your basement and grind away and make a few $100K a year. Like it's crazy,
Oh yeah. We each use Amazon fulfillment, right? So like, I don't have a warehouse, right? Or anything like that. I just buy online and sell them back online. I don't have to touch any of the books that I'm actually buying and selling. I think there's so much opportunity on Amazon.
Yeah. Let me, do you guys see my screen? Hold on. Let me pop this back up.
Yeah. We're going to go to the ticket prices.
Yeah. One thing we should do on these is we should add the price for 3 tickets here. I think that's what we did for Miami, at least. That way people can see if you guys
and a toggle button. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, the toggle can be just on the infographic, just put but that's what we did at Miami. We don't have to do that, but let me enter here and see if it's on here. But if you guys buy 3 tickets, you get what is it? How much percent off? Is it 30%?
30% off. Yeah.
Yeah. So 25% off.
Oh, 25.
If you guys squat up, ask your friends, you'll get 25. You'll save $400 collectively on these tickets. So it's significantly cheaper if you get your friends to come. So be sure to, get a group of people. And I'm not gonna say you're gonna have a bad experience to become alone, but if you have a few people already that you're coming in the room with, it does definitely make it easier. But if you're alone, whatever, it's fine. But maybe message some, Instagram people or some Facebook people, who are active and say, hey, you're going to Books and Beyond, and see if they want to go. And then you're going to the event, you're saving money, and you got a few friends to come with.
Avery, aren't you recommending another listing software?
Another listing software?
No, I'm joking. A scanning software.
Scoutly, yeah. Yeah. I stopped. So there's like a lot of reasons, and I want to be clear about that. But I've actually been using Scoutly more in my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because when you scan a book that doesn't have any data on offers, Scoutly will turn it green for you, whereas Scout IQ wouldn't. And probably the biggest reason is Caleb was one of my best friends, and Scout IQ was his company. And now that he's no longer involved, they're my competition. And I do think Scoutly is a better solution until we get our scanning app out, which will be hopefully this year, maybe early next year. But we're working on it.
Maybe we should ask them to sponsor.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get them last year. They didn't want to. That's the one thing they don't have. And Tom, if you're watching this, I think that's why I'm not really intimidated in the book community, is because there's nobody doing content like we are. Like we're it, Caleb was it before. That's why Scout IQ beat Scoutly, is because they built community like we have. And that's what gets people results. It's the belief in themselves, just the resources and education and all that. And that's what Scout IQ did. And Scoutly is more just like, they were the first ones in the business. So we could try and get them. But last year they thought the $500 sponsorship was too much. So,
oh, well then forget it then. Okay.
Yeah. Victor, can you create a better scanner? Do you get messages from the Chinese to create scanners all the time? I always get those emails from the Chinese.
I do. I get a lot of offers of like, I think you should do this, or you should add this to BookMine, or like BookRun was like, why don't you just make it with our software with BookRun? And I'm like, I just like, we're just going to continue to do BookMine for now, but yeah, I get a lot of offers and stuff like that. It's just like, I'm trying to remain focused, right? On one, just do the one thing really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. About ready now. We can wrap it up. Well, guys.
Yeah.
Dad's calling me for dinner. Yeah, I mean, this event will change your life. And if you feel like you come to this event and you don't get 10x value, if you feel like you're not going to, I'm not going to say 10x your income, because some people might already be doing 100,000 profit a year. But if you're not doing anything, or you're doing less than 10,000 a month, and you feel like you're not going to make 10 times that when you leave, I'll give your money back out of my bank account. Come talk to me on Sunday night. But these events changed my life. They've made, I could line by line go through my business and tell you, this is from this connection I made in person. This is from this connection. And most of them are from in-person conferences, or me just taking networking in my own hands when I go to the city and I try to meet up with a few sellers. But most of them actually came from conferences like Miami Sellers Conference, Books and Beyond, Turn the Page. So if you guys feel like you don't get 10x your value by the end of the week and you're making less than 10,000 profit a month, I'll make sure to reimburse you for your ticket price.
Yeah, I don't think I met a person at Books and Beyond who didn't enjoy Books and Beyond and said, like, I'm definitely coming back.
It's really hard too.
Yeah.
If you're, when we're running the event, we're constantly looking around the room for the person that looks awkward. Yeah. And usually it's Bill Marklink walking around and like, oh, he's fine.
Asking you to scan his beacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What beacon's there too? That's an excuse if you feel like you're a little shy. We try and give you every opportunity to not feel that way. Whether it's alcohol, we have the Beacons app, which is wristbands where you can tap it to other people's phones and trade your information with them instantly. It's a conversation starter. So.
What, at your conference?
Yep.
Oh, that's really good. Because I'm watering in my moo-moo. It's a real word.
What are your eBay sales at last 90 days?
I don't know.
She's at 11,000 lifetime sales.
Lifetime, yeah. But no, I was going to tell you because a friend of our son, you know, I won't say his name right now, but anyway, so his anxiety is so high and he's working for Amazon. He's gone to a smaller Amazon place and they allow him to go on walks throughout the day when he needs a break. And there was one other thing they let him do, but the main thing was letting him take breaks when he feels an attack coming on.
That's what Steve does with Reselling Catcher when he starts freaking out. He goes out.
Well, no, I mean, and I'm thinking as a teacher, we do give kids break cards, and I'm thinking, well, teachers,
she's always telling me at my events we need to take breaks, and I'm like, Mom, like we've been to Tony Robbins events together, Steve, and like you know what happens when you let people out of the room.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say this: Books and Beyond is a very mature crowd that you can say, "Hey, come back here in 5 minutes," and they come.
They do.
I mean, people outside, you
just start talking from what I saw.
They're
network. But anyway, I'm just saying, just meeting everybody where they are is really, really good. So
yeah, I really like the community we brought together. We have a lot of introverts in that community, and just bringing them together and getting them to talk in a group, finding other people like them, finding other people who are doing it. Yeah, it matters a lot.
Did you say they wore a wristband if they needed?
We got beacons.
You know the little beacon thing. I don't have mine on, but we had a little beacon. You remember?
In Miami or Books and Beyond, you would know
what
they are.
Okay. Anyway, no, but I'm thinking about my friend's son. He's a great kid. He knows a ton about sports, but he's just insecure in social situations. He's like almost 35 now, and I can't think of anyone to set him up with, but I would if I could.
Great, bro.
Some bonus content.
When I was single, she would be like, "I got this friend for you. She's a little big boned, but super nice girl. She's unemployed."
Okay, we're going off the rails here.
All right, with that, we got John Man saying, "Did Avery do any kind of sales as a kid? Maybe door to door, like No, but my mom was always trying to get me into different businesses. I used to have a poop scooping business. I was such an idiot when I was a kid. I had doggy daycare. Took all the dogs on my street, put them in my backyard, $20 a dog, $120 in like an hour. And then my dumbass decided to cut yards, and I would charge $25 for 3 hours of work. And so my brain just didn't understand. I had fun playing with dogs for 3 hours, made 120, or for 1 hour, making $120, or I can go cut grass. And like, I feel like that's actually still the business lesson I'm learning today, but I'm definitely way wiser than I was back then. But I should have just dialed in on the dog business.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Same lessons now. Yep.
What was y'all's first business?
I was even before I realized what money really was, I was flipping pencils. I realized that these kids, like in kindergarten, would be willing to give me 2 pencils for 1 pencil if this one pencil is really cool to them. And so I started with 1 pencil. By the time the kindergarten was done, I think I had maybe more than 1,000 pencils.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was probably my first one, and I've done multiple little businesses after that.
My first business landed me in prison.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, you didn't sell candy, Steve, or anything like that in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I did.
No, not too much, honestly. Okay. No, I mean,
dude, I'm telling you though, what you're talking about, like selling drugs, man, that'll teach you some lessons right there, and a lot of similarities to Amazon shutting you down. You know, but the difference is you're not behind jail bars, and that's what gives me so much confidence because I just released a YouTube video of me, my past doing a little bit of illegal activity, and knowing that you're not going to go to jail for what you're doing is such a good feeling.
It's 100% legal. Exactly.
Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night, and booksandbeyondcon.com. Get your tickets. Definitely get. I definitely go to the after party. So get that 2nd or 3rd option on your tickets, and squat up if you can. Any last words, guys?
See you in Vegas.
I just can't wait to see you guys there. I'm ready to do it again. Right? It'll be bigger and better than last year. So let's do it.
All right, guys. Much love.
See you guys.